Hello all and welcome back to our channel. In our project folder, we have some important files and folders as node modules, public, src, .gitignore, packagelock.json, package.json and readme. The node_modules folder contains every installed dependency for your project. In most cases, you should not commit this folder into your version-controlled repository. As you install more dependencies, the size of this folder will quickly grow. Furthermore, the packagelock.json file keeps a record of the exact versions installed in a project, so including the node_modules is not necessary. While the package.json file lists dependencies that tell us the suitable versions that should be installed for the project, you usually commit this to your version-controlled repository instead of node_modules, as it's a cleaner representation of all your dependencies. The .gitignore file tells Git which files to ignore the files or folders when committing your project to the GitHub repository. Gitignore is located in the root directory of your repo. The .gitignore file itself is a plain text document. Let's get to the public folder. It has the first file as favicon.ico. It is an icon file which is shown on the browser tab. Let me bring up the server terminal and then move to our React folder and npm run start. You can see this is the favicon.ico icon which is displayed over here. If you want something else to be shown, you can add your own icon. Now the next file is the index.html, and it is the main HTML file on which we are going to load our React components. Here you can see we have added our favicon.ico file. Then we do have description of this page. Here we are calling a link logo 192.png and manifest.json file to get loaded. Now you can see there is a title tag which will display your text as a title on the tab beside icon. Now the most important section which we are going to see is the division tag with ID root. This division is the space where we are going to load our actual React components. We are going to render our React code and it will be rendered or displayed in this root division. If we try to add anything to this division, for example, hello, I am the owner of this store app, and save it. Let us add a h1 tag to show the content in extra large size. Then it will be loaded but will be replaced by our React component. Because our React component was rendered on this division later on. Have a look in slow motion. We have the src folder here. We are going to build our React files and components. App.css file is the default CSS file which will contain all the CSS style for the component. You can replace or create your own CSS file and use it in your React project. Let us see index.js file. Later on we will take a look on App.js. In this file we create our React component and render it. For this we need to import few libraries as React, React DOM, index.css to load our CSS style sheet. App is nothing but app.js file which we will see next. Report web vitals file if you want to measure the performance of your app. You can see its result by running the command as report web vitals, console.log. The React DOM/client package provides client-specific methods used for initializing an app on the client. Then we will call React DOM.createRoot and then the document.getElementBid root, where we are going to render the contents. Then we call root.render and then app component which is called from app.js. Strict mode is a tool for highlighting potential problems in an application. Like fragment, strict mode does not render any visible UI. It activates additional checks and warnings for its descendants. Strict mode checks are run in development mode only, they do not impact the production build. Let's take a look at our component App.js. Here we will write our code and the actual functionality of the component. Let me open it. 1 second, let's close this first. Here we are calling logo file, which is displayed when we run the server. It has a function app, and this function is returning some HTML contents which we can see when we run the server. Whatever you will return from this function will be shown on root division of index.html file. If we replace this return data with some new HTML content, then it will be displayed on our HTML page when we will run the server. This export default statement is used to export our component to another file wherever we want to use this component in our project. In this way we can call the same component multiple times, and that is the main feature of ReactJs. Let's replace the context of this App.js, and let me paste the code. I have already copied it. Ctrl S and it's saved. Let's click on terminal, move to our project folder and npm run start. You can see our content is displayed on the screen. Please ignore that previous code which we wrote in index.html. So this is all for this lecture. We will see classes, arrow function and variable declaration in our next video. Also, we will be creating a simple React component and import it in our code. For now, thank you, keep learning and reacting. See you soon in next video.